Hi there, me again. Everyone is a titter on Twitter this week about Representative Anthony Weiner and what the media has dubbed Weinergate, which is the last time I'm going to use the W word on this issue because it's a fucking cheap joke. I'm talking to you, Leno, you fucking hack. It's come to light that my pal Anthony from Brooklyn has been using the internet and communications technology to send dirty pictures of himself to a handful of ladies over the past few years. Furthermore, Anthony claims that he's never actually met these women and has never had sex outside of his marriage. But here's the problem. Tony, you lied to us. In fact, the main thing that people like myself loved about you, Anthony, was that you didn't lie. Or at the very least, you vehemently attacked the liars who roam the halls of the House of Representatives. You told us you didn't do it. And then you admitted that you did do it. Not a good look, Tony. But let's assume that Anthony's telling the truth when he says that he's never met these women in person. Let's take his word for it when he says that he's never had sex outside of his marriage. Okay, where's the crime that's causing so much outrage? He was never under oath in a court of law, so perjury's out of the question. He technically hasn't broken that legal contract that straight people call marriage, though his wife could probably get a divorce real easy right about now. He didn't get caught with a prostitute. Spitzer! Excuse me. He didn't come in the Oval Office, he didn't knock up his housekeeper 6 years ago, and he sure as shit wasn't caught out cruising for nubile young men after years of passing anti-gay legislation. Don't think I've forgotten about you, Senator Ashburn. Nope, Anthony sent around some pictures of his lunch meat. And as long as those pictures were consensually requested, thereby eliminating the sexual harassment charge, I really don't see the problem. I mean, I'm in a relationship. I would never do that while in a relationship, but I don't really see the problem. Let's be honest, taking dirty pictures of yourself to send to somebody else, it's a pretty big turn on. And if you're a guy and tell me you've never done it, you're fucking lying. There's an old theory that once a new technology is created, within about a week, a man will find a way to apply it to erotica. Think about that. How soon after the first film camera was created do you think it took for somebody to take a beaver shot? Or for the telephone to be used for phone sex? And let's not even get started on the internet. Up until last year, it was easier to find decades worth of pornography than it was to find a goddamn Beatles record in the iTunes store. And that's my stance on the issue. If Anthony wasn't actually having sex with these women and was simply getting his rocks off by sending out some naked pictures, how is that any different than watching pornography or hitting up the titty bar at a bachelor party? I make no assumptions as to what Anthony's wife thinks about all this. I'm sure she's hurt and horrified by the media's attention. But how many of you out there have given your significant other a bed-breaking fuck worthy of the Old Testament's book of Vanessa Del Rio after you've spent a little time perusing RedTube? Fantasy is one of the best stimulants out there, and it keeps a lot of relationships alive and lubricated. Unfortunately, a lot of us had the fantasy that Anthony was a politician who couldn't lie. And Ant, you shattered that fantasy by not admitting to it right away. In fact, I wouldn't even be making this video because we'd all have forgotten about it by now if you just sacked up from the get-go. No pun intended. Anthony, I hope you work through this with your wife and family and put this behind you as soon as possible. I also hope you don't do something this stupid ever again. But most importantly, don't lie to us anymore. A lot of us still want you to be our mayor, because Bloomberg is a dick. I usually end these videos with sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. But I really want Anthony to keep standing up and screaming about what's wrong with our government. I just hope to God that he calls his cell provider and cancels his picture messaging option.